Now it's time for What the Fuck
With Aaron.
and Chris. All right, guys, time for the show. We have to lead off with sad news. Sad news. O.J. Simpson died. I
Aww.
know. You know what I did the day I heard O.J. Simpson died?
What's that?
I stopped off at the store, bought a big glass of, a big jar of orange juice. Came home. I put on my leather glove that doesn't quite fit right. I went out in the yard and I poured a butcher knife in the yard and I poured a little OJ on it.
Aww. If it doesn't fit, you must have quit.
Oh, like, how did he get away with that? And like, for part of me, for one moment, thought, okay, maybe he really was innocent. And then he wrote that book, If I Had Done It, how I would have got away with it.
Right.
He put that in writing.
He did.
I'm just like, dude, you got over one. Shut up about it. And here's the other thing about the OJ thing that I don't understand. And if you can explain it to me, awesome. If not, we cannot understand it together. So he was made convicted, or not convicted, not guilty. He did not commit the murders, right?
Correct.
Criminal court. In civil court, they're like, no, you're guilty. You got to pay their families for the rest of their lives.
Right.
How are you not guilty in criminal court and guilty in civil court?
Um. Yeah. So that's a rough one. He probably, and I don't know the facts of the case. I don't remember all of it when it all was settled. But my guess is they were like, we're just going to sue you until you give us money.
I guess.
I guess that I don't know how all of the civil stuff works. I am not an attorney, contrary to popular belief.
Right?
But, amazingly, I haven't quite mastered the art of the law yet.
Right?
But I know there's a different set of standards for civil court as opposed to criminal court.
I guess my defense would have been like, they said I'm not guilty. Fuck off.
Right. Right.
I mean, that's where I would have been like, do you know what I remember the most about the whole thing with the white Bronco?
I remember when they used it for a WrestleMania.
They use it for WrestleMania. We'll get to WrestleMania. But what I remember the most is I was pissed off because I didn't care about this person because by the time he was playing football, or by the time he quit playing, he's already done when all that happened.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know him as a football star. He was interrupting Michael Jordan in the NBA Finals.
Yes.
I was trying to watch the NBA Finals back when basketball was good. And they kept showing this white Bronco that I gave no fucks about. I was like, you motherfuckers, I'm trying to watch the NBA Finals. Y'all need to stop.
That was in 1996, I believe, or 95.
Hell, it was either George's second or last championship.
Yeah. It was 95 because WrestleMania 96 was when they used the Bronco to put over a thing with Goldust and Roddy Piper.
I was just like, y'all interrupting the finals. Like I said, back when basketball was a real sport, not like it is now.
Hey now, go Pacers, go Pacers, go Pacers.
Go home?
Go Pacers, go Pacers.
Hey, in all seriousness, I don't actually keep up with the NBA anymore. Did the Pacers make the playoffs?
They're in the playoffs, yes.
Playoffs or play-in tournament?
Playoffs. We are the 6th seed.
That's not too bad. So who's going to win this year? And don't say the Pacers just because you love them. Actually, be real.
Boston Celtics.
Somebody was telling me it was going to be the Bucks.
No. It is not going to be the Bucks because the Bucks are going to lose in the first round because they're playing the Pacers.
Oh, so it's probably going to be the Bucks. Is that what you're telling me?
Shut up.
I gotta give you grief because I don't actually really care about modern basketball. The way the game is played now just annoys me, and LeBron's existence in the basketball game pisses me off. I'm so sick of hearing about how great he is. He's so much better than Jordan. I'm like, no, he's not. LeBron would die in the 90s league. He would die. Like, the first time he flopped, the ref would have stepped on him.
Yeah, he had been curled up in the fetal position.
Like, I'm tired. And he's not even the best player of this generation. Honestly, the best player of this generation is Stephen Curry.
Steph is the best shooter of this generation, by far. I don't know if he's the best overall player. But he is the best pure shooter of this generation, without a doubt.
Do you know why I put Curry above LeBron in this? Because I don't know all the statistics for either one of them, as I don't follow it. The stuff I see, because I just read the news stories and see what I see on Facebook, and is Stephen Curry is a team player who works with his team without bringing in a ton of mercenaries, and they won that way.
They did.
LeBron is not a team player. I don't care how many assists he has, because it's not just being a team player. It's just not what you do on the court.
For me, the best player of our generation is Kobe Bryant.
See, now that's our generation, but I'm talking about this generation of basketball.
Yeah. Well, I would consider Kobe in this generation, because if you're going to put LeBron in this generation, you got to put Kobe in this generation, because they're the same. They're in the league at the same time. I mean, so you got to put, because they both came in. Kobe came in I think 98. LeBron came in 2002. So if you're going to put them both in,
all right, I'll give you that one. I give you that one. So it'd be Kobe number 1, Curry number 2, and LeBron I wouldn't even put on the list.
I'm not a fan of LeBron's play, but I will admit he's a great basketball player. But I would not put him over Kobe for sure. Not a chance. Not a chance.
Yeah, and honestly, Kobe brought home no edge to it. He was more competitive than anybody else. You know how competitive Kobe Bryant was? Kobe
was a killer.
Yeah, he didn't even want to miss that mountain.
No, if you've seen, right? Yeah. It's a terrible joke, but whatever. I'm gonna just gloss over that. But there's a documentary on Netflix about the Dream Team, and Kobe at the time, they were playing Spain in one of the games, and Spain had kicked their ass in the game before, and Kobe told his teammates, "I'm gonna go run over Pau Gasol." Pau Gasol and him were teammates.
Yes, I saw that interview.
But Kobe was like, "I'm gonna go hit Pau in the fucking chest." And that's exactly what first play of the game. He goes and runs right into Powell and knocks him the fuck over.
Yes, I saw that interview. I actually went on YouTube and looked up the clip, watching him do it. It was intense.
Yep. Yes.
Kobe Bryant was he was a killer. So was the ground. Anyway, moving on. Sorry, I'm a horrible person.
You really are. You really are.
It's what the fuck. If somebody doesn't hear this and say what the fuck, then something's wrong. Okay, that's so fair. Let's now talk about something that makes me hate you. So what'd you do last weekend, fucker?
Well, my dear friend Chris, your somewhat tolerable brother and I went to Wrestlemania. We went to Philadelphia, and we went to Wrestlemania, and we ate all the cheesesteaks. We watched all the wrestling and did all the things.
Yeah, fuck you.
It's okay to be jealous. It's fine.
I was jealous. And honestly, I watched almost all of Wrestlemania.
Yep.
I had wrote down the wrong start time. I'd gotten confused because Sunday night started earlier than Friday night did, or Saturday night did.
No, they both started at 7, but Sunday night ended earlier.
I thought it started at 8. But either way, I messed up the time. Don't know how I messed up time. So I missed the first match, and I'm going to say about a quarter, if not a half, of the ladder match of the first night. So I missed...
Of night 1? Okay.
I missed Becky Lynch and Rhea, and I missed, what was it? Austin Theory getting the belts, but I got to see Awesome Truth get the belts. So, and okay. I like how they did that. But so tell us about the match I saw nothing about. Tell me all about Rhea's ass.
Well, it was on full display as usual. But her and Becky had a very good match. Becky was apparently very sick, very ill. Had a 102, I believe they said 102 degree fever, and she had strep throat. And for anyone who has ever had strep throat or ever had a high fever, you don't want to do shit, let alone go out and wrestle for 20 minutes in front of 70,000 people in a highly physical endeavor.
Now,
So
here's my question.
kudos to Becky. Kudos to Becky.
Here's my question.
Yes.
I heard that. And they were talking about it later on in the WrestleMania. Here's my question. Was that a work to set up the rematch where she could say she wasn't 100%?
Nope. No, that was not. Apparently, it was legit. Because I know she had done like meet and greets and stuff throughout the weekend, and several people had said that she just did not look well. That she just did not look like she was feeling well. So no, it was not a work. It was a legit.
So this was like the Michael Jordan flu game.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, she pretty much got sick as hell on the biggest night of the year,
and still went out there and killed it.
And still went out there and had a hell of a match with Rhea Ripley. Yes.
I mean, that's all you can ask for. You can't always be in good health. So, like I said, I also missed most of that ladder match. By the time I watched it, I think all the really cool spots were over. Was there anything over the top that I missed?
Not really. They kept it, fairly safe by ladder match standards. But I mean, there still was some cool shit in there. So, Ricochet did some shit, and it was good stuff. It was good stuff. I enjoyed it.
I saw a clip of Ricochet just this week. I don't think he's going to be back for a minute.
Yeah?
Yeah, he was doing one of his 540 splash onto a table. Well, onto the announce table, and the announce.
Fine.
There is no way he did not F up his ribs.
I mean, I'm sure he hurt his ribs, but he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
The table didn't collapse. He literally hung himself.
He landed on Bronson Reed. He's fine.
I don't know. That spot looked rough. I would not be surprised if he had a broken rib.
He'd be all right.
I mean, he'll be okay. He'll be back. I've bruised a rib before, and I couldn't sit up. Like, the muscles it took to sit up apparently are attached to your ribs somewhere, and I had to kind of roll over bed and kind of side up to get out of bed for a month. I couldn't imagine jumping anything. Right. I couldn't have jumped up a stair. It hurt so bad. So he's tougher than me, that's for sure. Because that sucks. I had the order and I left it upstairs, so I don't remember what the next match was. What was the next one?
Oh God, look, man, I've slept since then.
Right? I mean, we can just skip to the big stuff that you remember. It's no big deal.
Yeah, because let's see, night one. God, what? It probably was the tag match with Mysterio and Andrade.
Yeah, and to me, the only highlight of that match was there was two, Vega's ass and the Philly players coming in.
Yes, yeah,
yeah,
that was cool.
Yeah, you can't go wrong anytime you can bring people in. That is the best match possible. Seeing Jason Kelsey coming in there, I was like, yep, that's good stuff. So yes. So, what else we got that night? Of course, the tag match at the end, which we knew what was going to happen. We both called that one 100%. Right.
But it was a hell of a match.
It was a hell of a match. I really liked the part where the ref was counting them out, and Brock Lesnar goes, "You count them out, you're fired."
Yeah.
I was just like, that's one way to make people not question why they're not counting to 10.
Right.
Could y'all hear that in the arena, or was that something we just caught on TV?
You caught that on TV. We couldn't they didn't say it over the house mic or anything.
Yeah. So yeah, when the ref is counting, I'm sure you saw the ref stop counting. The Rock literally just turned around and looked at him and goes, "If you count, you're fired."
Yeah, you could see it on the screen that Rock said, "Hey, you're fired if you count that." But yeah, you couldn't hear it.
Oh, I was just like, that is perfect. So where were y'all sitting? Did y'all get close to the action when they went all the way out into the arena, or were you guys pretty high up?
We were on the opposite side of the stadium where they were doing that. We were over on. So for night one, we were over by the ramp. But we were over by like off to the. If you're looking at the ramp from the ring, we were off to the left,
Mm-hmm.
kind of off to the side, so you couldn't really see, we couldn't see a lot of the entrance, but we could have a full view of the ring.
Well, I mean, that's was the most important thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was a good. We had good seats for night one, great seats for night two. So really good seats both nights.
All right, so move on to night 2. Me and you both said Damian Priest was probably going to cash in. We had the match wrong.
Yes, we did.
Does the WWE hate Drew McIntyre?
No, they actually love him because I have a feeling he's going to win the title in Scotland.
He should have won it last time he was in Scotland.
Right, which is his home country. But it fits his character perfectly. It fits his character perfectly that he had his moment, he won at WrestleMania, and then he got screwed out of it. It fits his, like all this complaining has been doing, it fits his character perfectly to a T. So it makes a ton of sense. I think CM Punk is closer to coming back than they're letting on.
Oh yeah, he took that
because they're really leaning into this story heavy with him and Drew. So I have a feeling his recovery is going really well.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at him the way he was wearing that brace. He wasn't even wearing it correctly.
Right. So he's probably closer to coming back than people realize. I would not be surprised in about a month if he's back.
Yeah. I thought I knew as soon as he got on the table and started talking trash to the Punk that it was going to happen because it's been building. I mean, he only had so much longer to cash in anyway. The other part where he gets out of the ring, like he lets his wife hold the belt for a second, like, all right, hold it. Remember this moment. It's about to lose it. Hold on.
Right, exactly. Well, there's a great post. There was a great post on social media from Drew's family. I think it was his brother made a post on social media of, we left early, fuck this nonsense or whatever. And there's a picture of all of them flipping off the stadium.
That's why he got the Slammy for best social media.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. So it was great. And it was a great moment. Great start to the show.
Yeah. That was the kickoff.
Yeah, phenomenal start to the show. Like you could also, I would be remiss if we did not mention the wonderful Stephanie McMahon was back in WWE.
Right.
And that was great to see. Look at as fine as ever, by the way.
I mean, yeah. Other than the fake tits, I don't do fake tits, but yeah. Liked them better when she was hanging from the cross than they were real.
Right. Well, but it was great to see her back.
Yeah. Now my question is she back? Like, is she actually going to be working behind the scenes like she was before, putting together the stuff with Triple H?
Well, it seemed like when they did the press conference, Triple H said it was great to have her back home. So my guess is yes, that she is back. But that is yet to be determined.
Because I will say it before we even finish talking about WrestleMania, this was the best WrestleMania I've ever watched.
It was great. They had hyped it up as the greatest WrestleMania of all time. And
actually delivered, in my opinion.
I think it actually delivered. I will say, I think Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes was the greatest WrestleMania main event of all time.
Yes.
I'm not saying, now let me clarify, because I know some of you fuckers are going to yell and scream and hoot and holler. I did not say it was the greatest WrestleMania match of all time. I said it was the greatest WrestleMania main event of all time.
God, yeah. What would be the greatest WrestleMania match of all time? That's something I'll have to think about. Like, we could touch on that another week, because I mean, there's so many good ones. I
know a lot of people will say Undertaker and Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 25.
couldn't argue
I know
against that.
that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people's picks. But yes, for Roman and Cody, all I'm saying is that was the greatest WrestleMania main event
Yeah,
of
could
all
you
time.
imagine you had to be the match after Undertaker and Shawn Michaels?
Right. Which happened at 25 because they were not the main event.
Yeah, like I gotta follow that. Why wasn't this
it
the
was
main event?
funny. It was funny because Edge talks about that. Because it was the match after that was Edge, John Cena, and the Big Show in a triple threat. And Edge talks about how they were right after it, and it just sucked. Just like Randy Orton and Triple H talk about how they were right after Hulk Hogan and The Rock.
Yeah, just go home. Just
Right.
like we're gonna go out there and do this, but nobody's gonna care. Nobody's even gonna
Yeah,
remember.
Triple H and Jericho talked about. Triple H and Jericho talked about how they were the main event when Rock Hogan were 2 matches before them.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So yeah.
No, the main event delivered. I was surprised by something, and
Okay.
as far as a triple threat goes, Logan Paul almost pretty much cleanly won that match.
It was very good. It was very good. There were lots of, shenanigans with the brass knucks and all that fun stuff.
But he didn't actually hit with the brass knucks. He actually hit his move in a triple threat and had a clean win. That's like, I think, Logan's first clean win.
And I thought the stuff at the start with Randy and Kevin beating him up was great.
Oh, yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Oh, that was a good one.
I really enjoyed it.
And the RKO and the prime bottle through the table.
Yes.
Although I can't really say through the table because the table didn't move.
Correct. It did not.
That guy might actually be dead.
I was a big fan of Io Sky versus Bayley. Thought that was very good.
Oh, yeah. And you couldn't hear what they were saying and stuff, but her and Io went back and forth the whole thing. It was really, really, really good.
Yeah, it was. They delivered for sure. Night one, I thought the 6-woman tag with Jade Cargill was what it needed to be, which was to basically make Cargill look like a badass, and that's exactly what it did. That's all it needed to do.
Yeah, I had one problem with that match.
What's that?
I was distracted, and I know this is a horrible moment, so everybody get ready to say what the fuck. But she had that white line running from her face all the way down her stomach.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's like a landing strip white line. Really? Like, I just want to...
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. What is wrong with you?
What? Tell me...
What is wrong with you? I'm like, there's so much wrong with you. I could tell that you're Jesse's brother. My God.
I'm just saying, I was just like, that is the line I want to follow.
Oh, you're an idiot. You know that? You're an idiot. You realize this?
You realize I'm not the only person who thought that.
I'm not saying you are. You're just the one that's saying it to me right now. So you're the idiot.
I'll take it. Whatever. You thought it.
Okay. I actually didn't, but whatever.
So Jade Cargill, next champion?
No. You got to hold off on that for a while.
Well, here's the problem with the women's division, and this is a problem, is they don't have a mid-level title.
Correct.
You're either champion or you're nothing.
Right.
There is no women's intercontinental title, nothing.
Now, NXT is getting one. They announced that NXT is getting a women's North American title.
And they need to bring that into the WWE in the women's division.
And they might. They could end up, what I think they're probably going to end up doing is moving some of the main roster people to NXT and kind of have them fight over the North American title. So I think it's going to be good in the end. I think it's going to work out well. Because they have a deep women's division. They really do.
They need a mid-level title. That way they can build somebody up like they did with Gunther, which we hadn't talked about yet.
Gunther and Sammy was phenomenal. When he hit that brain buster on the top rope.
Right? Which I thought was a move that was banned at one point.
It probably was, I'm sure.
But no, that match was great. And I love, like, where Gunther was talking to the wife, and the wife had comebacks.
Yes.
I was just like, you messing with the wrong one. I think
Yeah,
she might get in the ring and whip your ass.
she was great. She was phenomenal. And, a lot of times it's hit or miss with families and stuff like that at ringside. But she did really, really well.
Yeah, and Sammy won, which I mean that was a great match. I
It really,
I feel like they should have switched the nights though. Whichever night it was, I can't remember if that was night one or night two. They should have switched it.
it was night one.
They should have switched it to night two because that number for his days reigning.
Yeah. For those that don't know, Gunther held the title for 666 days.
Right?
666.
Oh. So now here comes the Gunter push towards the championship belt because he's too good not to.
Correct.
But
Yeah, he and then for those that don't know, they announced that there's going to be a draft coming up at the end of the month. So my guess is he probably will get sent over to SmackDown. He will probably end up feuding with Cody, would be my guess.
I'm so sick of the draft. It's the
But
stupidest thing.
in this case, it's going to work. I think it's going to work really well for them in this case because they have a lot of talent that they can move around. Because sometimes their women's division is a little uneven right now. Specifically, they've got a lot of women on SmackDown, so they need to kind of even that out a bit.
Give somebody for Rhea to actually beat.
Right. Well, they're going to do Rhea and Liv. They already jumped into that by Liv throwing a chair at her head on Monday, which was great, by the way.
Yeah, you were there for that too. Fuck you.
I was also there for the Uncle Howdy tease.
Oh, I saw something on TikTok and it said it was actually from Uncle Howdy's account, but I can't find anything saying it was real or not. But if it was amazing, and it showed a new Jester mask. He's coming back as the Jester. I don't know if that's true or not. Like I said, it's something I saw on TikTok.
Well, and then on SmackDown there was a glitch or whatever on the screen, and if you pause it, it says "Don't forget about us" or "You forgot about us." I think it said "You forgot about us."
Yeah, the thing I keep hearing or reading online is they're bringing back all the Funhouse players again, everybody but obviously Bray Wyatt.
Right.
And they're
Yeah, I have a feeling Alexa Bliss will be back in that fold, which is great. I think Alexa is a perfect fit for that. Also, I read today that apparently Eric Rowan has canceled all of his indie bookings.
Ooh.
And he was spotted, I guess, over the weekend in WWE cities or whatever where they were running. But so the rumor is he might be on his way back.
That would be good. That would be really good.
Like, here's the thing. Like, if you could get Bo, Alexa, and Eric to kind of reinvigorate the Funhouse and all of those characters, that's what Bray would want. I think it would be a great tribute. I think it would be great. And because Alexa was already doing a lot of that stuff anyway without Bray.
Yeah.
So I think she's a perfect fit.
And even while he was still on the air before he got sick, they were actually still doing that with her. Like when she was doing interviews, the screen would change and she'd like.
So, they were really getting ready. Like she was getting ready to rejoin him. Like that was the plan, was she was going to rejoin Bray. So because they had already teased involvement with her and Uncle Howdy. So they had already kind of started that. And we really hadn't gotten any development with Uncle Howdy, really.
No.
So that's a story that never was really told.
No, I mean they were going that way, and then what happened.
Yeah.
I'm hoping after seeing, I haven't watched the documentary yet, but I saw pictures and a little video clip of it, that when Bo comes back, he puts on that new Fiend costume they had designed.
Right. There is a Uncle Howdy. There is a tease at the end of the documentary. I'll say that.
Yeah, no, I know about the tease.
Yeah, there's a tease at the end of the documentary. So, for those that haven't watched it,
cover your ears.
Yes, there is a wrestling related tease at the end of the Bray Wyatt documentary.
Yes, and I mean, and we've known. I mean, dude, Bo Dallas' contract was never canceled. He was never released. They were giving him
Right.
time to deal with everything, but he was coming back. They were going to
Yes.
continue the Bray Wyatt story through him. That was going to happen. Like, I didn't need a tease to know it was going to happen. I like the build up with the glitches and everything. It's going to be awesome. I'm hoping it happens in Saudi Arabia, but I
I
don't
don't
care
think
when it happens.
I don't think they're going to wait that long.
That's not that long. That's the next
I
big
mean,
pay per view.
that's the end of May, so that's another month. I don't think they're going to wait that long. I think they're going to do it probably either at the draft or shortly thereafter. So maybe in Paris at Backlash, because I think it's one of those things where it's great to do all these teases. It's great to do all of this, but everyone is kind of on to the game. So you don't want to draw it out too much to where people are like, okay, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. So you want to be a little careful, but yeah, they're not there yet. They're still, people are going to be excited when it happens.
Oh yeah.
But I think I think it's going to be sooner rather than later. I think it's going to be shortly thereafter the draft. Right around draft is probably when I think it's going to happen.
I can't wait. I'm excited. That's going to be amazing.
Oh, it's going to be phenomenal. And I've always been an Alexa Bliss fan, so I'm really excited to see her back. I'm excited to see Bo, and then if they throw in Eric Rowan, that would be great too. I'm excited for all of it. I really am.
All right. Moving on to the last match.
Yes,
Cody finishes the story.
he does. And that crowd was on fire. They were electric from the start of the match all the way to the end of the match. And I already called it earlier in our broadcast here. I called it the greatest WrestleMania main event of all time. I stand by that because of the story that was told.
Oh yeah.
I'm usually not a fan of a lot of interference in matches,
But the way they did
but
it.
but everything in this match made sense. Jimmy Uso comes out, Jey Uso comes out, takes him out. Solo Sikoa comes out. John Cena comes out because Solo's the one that took him out. Rock comes out, Seth comes out, and I hope people don't lose sight of what Seth actually did and what it actually meant.
I mean,
I really,
I don't know if everybody knows that the double cross.
yes,
The
like
shield.
Seth literally. So months and months ago, when all this build started, Seth told Cody he would be his shield, that he was the only one capable of being Cody's shield. Which means that Seth, in his mind, was convinced that if he gave Roman the opportunity to pay him back for what Seth did to Roman 10 years ago,
Right?
when Seth turned his back on Roman and the Shield by hitting Roman in the back with the chair, Seth was convinced in his mind that if he gave Roman that opportunity, Roman would take it.
And he did.
And sure enough, Seth gives him the opportunity. Wham! Seth gets nailed in the back with the chair, just like Seth did to Roman 10 years ago. That gives Cody the opportunity to come up, get Roman, crossroads 3 times, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah, that was perfect. Was I the only one looking in the crowd for Moxley?
No, you were not. There was a lot of confused people. There were a lot of people that were confused. They're like, "Oh shit, is Moxley coming?"
Yeah, I was looking.
And then it was also great, when The Rock came out. I know a lot of people would have wanted Stone Cold Steve Austin in that spot. I get it. It would have been great.
I mean, the Rock Stone Cold matches.
Having The Undertaker in that spot is not a letdown, in my opinion.
Oh no, either one of them worked.
Yeah, those were your two. Those were the two options, and because they both have a long history with The Rock, so both of those, either one of those two fits. And when the gong hit, the place went bonkers.
Oh yeah, anytime the gong hits, the place goes bonkers. I mean, it's the Undertaker. His choke slam was a little weak. I don't know how many more times he can do that.
Right.
He is really enjoying his retirement and not exercising as much.
No, hey, no, he's busy doing all those dead man shows and all the touring around and drinking all that whiskey and everything. So
He's earned it. I ain't complaining, but it was perfect. And then, you know, I was wrong about the time frame, but it was a clean win. All that interference happened,
it's
and they took a moment, and then they started fighting again, and then Cody Rhodes won the match.
yeah,
So
they gave it a minute to breathe because none of the guys that came out other than Cena touched Roman.
nope.
Taker didn't do anything to Roman. Seth tried to get to Roman but didn't. So nobody did anything to Roman. The only one that did anything to Roman was Cena.
And honestly, Cena deserved to do something to Roman after the match, and
Yeah,
so what happened with
yeah,
Solo Sikoa.
for sure. So yeah, it was great. It was perfect storytelling, and it was an amazing moment. And to see everybody tearing up, and to see the one image that I can't get out of my mind is the one. There's two images. The one where obviously Cody hands the belt to his mom. That's great. That's great. But the one that I really got drew to was when Charles Robinson, the referee, has the belt and hands it to Cody for the first time. And Charles is tearing up. Charles is crying.
I mean,
And that was a great moment.
Charles
You
used
could
to
just,
do Dusty Rhodes matches.
yeah. Well, he used to be around Dusty Rhodes. Yeah. I mean, he was obviously around Ric Flair all the time. So, when they were in WCW, he was always around Rick, which means he was always around Dusty.
Yeah, so there was a connection there, even with the ref in this match. Like it was amazing.
Yeah.
All right, so future prediction time.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Rome's gonna come back.
Yes.
Say SummerSlam
Yeah. We'll
with,
see. That's fair.
with Jimmy and Jay, and it's gonna be Bloodline versus Bloodline, and Roman's gonna be a face.
I agree with that. I agree with all of that. Because they kicked Jimmy out on SmackDown. If for those who haven't watched SmackDown, Jimmy got kicked out of the Bloodline. So now it's Solo and Tama Tonga.
Mm-hmm.
So you could do a couple of different things. You could bring Rock back, obviously, to lead them, or you could also bring in Jacob Fatu, and Solo could be the leader. Either way works.
Well, everything I've been seeing online kind of points to Solo's going to be the leader.
Right.
That's why they saved him talking until Friday night.
Yeah, so I would bring in Jacob Fatu, put him and Tama with Solo. That's your new bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Roman and the Usos as your old bloodline. Because Rock's not going to be back for a while.
Nah. He's off filming a movie.
Yeah, when he comes back, he's going to come after Cody. So they've already established that. So yeah, I think it'll be phenomenal storytelling. It'll be phenomenal storytelling.
Yeah, like the Bloodline is the story that keeps giving back from when Sammy was trying to be in the Bloodline and then and all that stuff with Kevin Owens, and now this with Cody, and then the Bloodline versus Bloodline. That's coming up. Like,
yeah,
Triple H has actually turned it into story based, not just screw over the fans. He'll always wins. Sometimes you gotta go the other way. Although I did notice that in this one, all the belts they swapped, everything they did, it worked out that for every belt for the counterpart, when there's one heel, one face.
Yep.
Like they did a perfect swap. So although it's hard to call Rhea a heel, everybody loves her.
Yeah.
But technically she's a heel.
Yes.
Technically only.
Right.
It's not often people cheer for the heel, but it does happen.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wish she'd just be done with the Judgment Day and just move away.
Yeah, I mean, but it still fits. Like it still works. So I can understand why they don't.
It works, but she doesn't need them. They need her.
Right. Right.
And I know the WWE loves Damian Priest. I don't.
Yeah.
Like, I know everybody loves to hate Dom. He just bores me. And I love Finn Balor. Well, I think I said it wrong.
Balor.
Balor. I love Finn Balor. I do. But the way he plays that character is just, I don't like it. And then the other dude with the giant head.
JB McDonough?
Yeah, like his head's 3 times bigger than the rest of his body. I just don't like the Judgment Day.
I think you're completely wrong about the Judgment Day. I think they're great. I really do. I think they're great. Damian's great. Damian's a really good worker. Dominic is probably the best heel in the company because people will pay to watch Dominic Mysterio get his ass kicked, and that's the mark of a good heel.
He's a great heel. The whole Judgment Day it bores me, and maybe they had somebody else talking besides Finn the way he talks, and Damian Priest is horrible on the mic. And
it depends on the topic. He has some good stuff. It just depends.
And I can't tell you if Dom's good on the mic or not because you never hear him over the booze.
No, and it's beautiful. I love it.
Oh,
it's great.
So I kind of hope it goes away. It's probably not. It probably not. They'll probably keep it going forever. I thought for a while
it's not going away anytime soon. I don't see it going away.
I really thought it'd be Judgment Day versus the Bloodline at one point.
Yeah.
But that never happened. Ooh, that'll work. Okay. I want to see this now. The new Funhouse, led by Uncle Howdy, destroying the Judgment Day. They got to pick somebody to beat up. And who would...
Yeah.
An audience will love that.
We need the Judgment Day around.
Hey, they can lose and still be around. I mean, which other? Because obviously, the Wyatt family is going to be a faction again. It's going to be multiple wrestlers, so they have to take on another faction. And who you got? You got the Bloodline. You got Judgment Day, and Bobby Lashley's team, kinda.
Right.
The Final Testament.
You've got Karrion Kross's team. Like, you've got some stuff you could work with, and they don't necessarily all have to go after the same people.
This is true.
Like, they don't all have to go after the same group.
Well, that will be a topic for another show. Obviously, we'll see more when they do come back. Who they go after. They might do when the next first came back in the Nexus and just come after everybody.
Right.
That would be great. I was actually watching Raw, or was it Raw or SmackDown that night? I was watching it when the Nexus came down for the first time and just destroyed everything.
Yes.
That was beautiful. That one of the highlights of me watching wrestling was that, and also I watched the Hogan turn. I watched that when it happened.
Same, as did I.
Like, that was beautiful. Then the NWO went crazy, but that moment was really good. I thought they could have really worked that and turned it into something, and then they lost their minds. They put Buff Bagwell in NWO. I know what they were thinking. Do you know what he does now, right?
Yeah.
He's a hooker.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. Did you not save any of the money?
No, not even a little bit.
All right, that is all I have got for the day, unless you've got something else you want to hit on.
I don't think so, sir. I think that's enough damage for one day.
I mean, that's what she said.
Right?
All right, guys. I mean, whatever. That was a good one.
It was all right.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. My girlfriend was walking around the other day. She said she had a sore throat, and I was like, "That's what she said." And she threw something at me.
You deserved it. I'm amazed you have a girlfriend.
I mean, she gets my sense of humor, which is the only reason it works.
That's fair.
Like, and gets me to the point where I'm watching. It wasn't WrestleMania, it was the one before, and I don't even remember the match, but I think it was LWO. Yeah, it was the LWO match, and those dudes came out and they had that really cool tattoos across their chest that looked like they're ripped open. And my kid was in there, and I made a comment, man, those are really cool looking tattoos. And he's like, "What, you watching wrestling because you want to bang guys? You talking about guys having cool tattoos?" And I was like, "Watching, I just said it's a cool tattoo. It doesn't mean I like guys." And Emily piped up and she goes, "But yeah, just like I'm looking at her, she's got a great ass. Doesn't mean I want to sleep with her." I'm like, "You can. I'll watch." And she's like,
Right.
She's like, "Okay." So she gets me.
There you go.
So it works. And that's what you have to find in life. You have to find somebody that can put up with your level of crazy. Like, she listens to some of these shows and she's just like, "You're messed up in the head, but that was funny."
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to end it. Everybody have a wonderful night. Aaron?
Yes, sir. It was good. It was good times. I tolerated another episode with you, so that's 2 down.
What? It's not that bad.
Yeah, I will say you're better than your brother. That's fair.
Actually, you know what? You said that, so now you're going to get a bad joke. Are you ready?
No.
Okay. So there's a group of Republicans that call themselves the Log Cabin Republicans. This is a real group. Have you ever heard of the Log Cabin Republicans?
I have.
It's gay Republicans.
Yeah.
Do you know they believe Abraham Lincoln was gay?
Yeah.
Do you know why?
No.
Well, if you think about it, he did like the theater, and he did take a shot to the back of the head.
Folks, I apologize for my co-host. He is an idiot. I do apologize. And all I can say to that joke is, what the fuck?
All right, guys, that was the show. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to help support the show, go to patreon.com/worstjokes. If you want to follow the show on Twitter @cman2342, or just search for the Angry Ninja Show. You find us on Facebook, find us on Twitter, find us on Instagram, find us on Threads. We are everywhere. Any questions? Email asktheangryninja@gmail.com, and I'll answer your question on the show. So yeah, however you want to reach me, we're there. Just remember to search the Angry Ninja Show or @cman234 Twitter, and support the show. Patreon.com/worstjokes. I hope everybody has a wonderful night.